Now muster conscious my acquainted still, and you must put me in your heart for friend, sith you have heard with a knowing ear that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears. But tell me, why you proceeded not against these feats, so crimeful and so capital in nature, and by your safety, wisdom, all things else, you mainly were stirred up.
Oh, for two special reasons, which may you perhaps seem much unsinewed, but yet to me they are strong. The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks, and for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it which either, she's so conjunctive to my life and soul, that as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive why to a public count I might not go, is the great love and general gender bear him, who dipping all his faults in their affection, would like the spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his gyves to graces, so that my arrows, too slightly timbered for so loud a wind, would have reverted to my boat again, and now where I had aimed them.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenger of mount of all the age for her perfections, but my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beards be shook with danger and think in pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine. How now, what news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet, this to your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not. They were given me by Claudio. He received them of him that brought them.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back, or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character. Naked? And in a postscript here he says, alone. Can you advise me?
I am lost in it, my lord, but let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart, that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thus diest thou!
If it be so, Laertes, and how should it be so? How otherwise? Will ye be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord, so you will not overrule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. If he be now returned, as checking at his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit now ripe in my devise, under the which he shall not but choose but fall. And for his death no one of blame shall breathe, but even his mother will uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled, the rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You have been talked of since your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing for our quality, wherein they say you shine. Your sons of parts did not together pluck such envy from him as did that one, and that in my regard of the unworthiest sage.
What part is that, my lord?
A very ribbon in the cap of youth, yet needful too, your youth no less becomes the light and careless livery that it wears, than settled age his sapples and his weeds, importing health and grievances, too much sense. He was a gentleman of Normandy. I've seen myself, and served against the French, and they can well on horseback, but this gallant had witchcraft in it, and grew unto his seat, and to such wondrous doing brought his horse, as he had been encorpsed and demi-natured, with a brave beast. So far he taught my thoughts, that I, in forgery of shapes and tricks, come short of what he did.
A Norman, was it?
A Norman.
Upon my life, Lamord.
The very same.
I know him well. He is the brooch indeed and gem of all the nation.
He made a confession of you, and gave you such a masterly report for art and exercise in your defense, and for your rapier most especially. And he cried out, "'Twould be a sight indeed, if one could match you. The scribes of their nation, he swore, had either motion, guard, nor eye, if you opposed them. Sir, this report of his did Hamlet so envenom with his envy, that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming o'er to play with him. Now out of this."
What out of this, my lord?
"Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the pinching of a sorrow, a face without a heart?"
Why ask you this?
"Not that I did not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passages of proof time qualifies the spark and fire of it, relies within the very flame of love, a kind of wick or snuff that will abate it. And nothing is like goodness still, for goodness growing to pleurisy dies in his own too much, that we should do when we would, for this would changes, and hath abatements and delays as many as there are tongues, are hands, are accidents, and then this should is like a spendthrift sigh that hurts by easing. But to the quick of the ulcer, Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself indeed your father's son more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church!
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds, but good Laertes. Will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returned shall know you are come home. Will put on those shall praise your excellence, and set a double varnish on the frame. The Frenchman gave you, bring you and find together and raider of heads. He being remiss, most generous and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a pass of practice requite him for your father.
I will do it, and for that purpose I will anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank, so mortal that but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, no cataclysm so rare, collected from all samples that virtue under the moon can save the thing from death that is but scratched. Withal, I'll touch my point in that contagion that if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. Weigh what convenience both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore, this project should have a back or second that might hold if this should last in proof. Soft, let me see. We'll make a solemn wager on your cunnings. Aha! When in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent toward the end, that he calls for a drink. I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nonce, whereupon but sipping, if he had by chance escaped your venom stuck, our purpose may hold here. But see what noise. Oh, one doth tread upon another hill, so fast they flow. Your sisters drown, Laertes!
Drowned? Where?
There is a willow, grows aslant a brook, that shows his hoar leaves in a glassy stream. Where this frantic garland did she come? Oh, crow flowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, that liberal shepherds give her grosser name. For our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant but her coronet reeds, clamoring to hang as envious sliver broke. Flung down her weighty trophies and herself fell into the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide and murmured like, and while they bore her up, which time she changed snatches of all the laws, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and undued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments heavy with their drape pulled the poor wretch from her melodious leg to a muddy death.
Alas, then she is drowned.
Drown! Drown!
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia. Therefore, I forbid my tears. Yet it is our trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what will. When these are gone, that woman will be out. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this fully doubts it.
Let's follow Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear at this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow. Scene.